That's why a lot of these celebrities that start these things, they can't keep up. You know, like the Meghan Markles.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this.
There are moments when a public figure's carefully constructed narrative meets something it cannot control. A voice too big to ignore. A platform too wide to spin. Joe Rogan is that voice. This week, the most listened to man on earth turned his attention to Meghan Markle, and what he said was damaging. Joe watched Meghan's podcast appearance and something was off. Her tears, her royal title, her carefully staged vulnerability. Now he is asking a question millions have been thinking, but few have had the courage to say aloud. Why does Meghan still call herself Duchess? Why keep a royal title if you don't want the royal duties? Joe Rogan's observation has ignited something that his over 200 million followers were already wondering. The same thing, and once that door opens, other questions follow. Why the staged podcast tears, or the lifestyle brand no one asked for? Why does Meghan's name keep popping up in the resurfaced whispers of yacht parties and Epstein connections?
There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s.
And finally, did she really not know anything about the royal family before she married into it? Or was that always part of the story she needed you to believe? Tonight, we examine a narrative that is showing more cracks every day, and it's leading people to suspect that Meghan Markle might not be as innocent as she would want us to believe.
I knew her a bit before she met Harry. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
There isn't a tear in sight. It's an actor's trick.
Don't make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time?
So, over the years, Joe Rogan has developed a reputation for giving his unfiltered opinion on what he sees to his over 11 million listeners. And according to Joe, what has been seeing in Meghan Markle was not a duchess. It was a performance he recognized from before she ever met Prince Harry. Joe was speaking on the rumors that have circulated for years concerning Meghan's Yacht Girl party days. These were exclusive events hosted by wealthy elites on vessels that docked in private ports all over the world. The suggestion that Meghan moved through circles where the line between socializing and something darker was deliberately, carefully blurred. Rogan mentioned these rumors were less of a fact and more of a context of something much deeper. He pointed to the fact that certain photos and videos of Meghan from that time have quietly deleted from the internet. He went a step further and asked why over the years questions about Meghan's past were almost always met with legal threats and PR silence rather than actual answers. Joe even referenced rumors of an alleged sex tape, acknowledging that no concrete evidence exists, but noting that the very existence of such rumors in the age of the internet were extremely telling. But Rogan's most devastating point was not about Meghan's past. He pointed to a simple, verifiable fact that the British public has turned on her. A recent poll found that 97% of respondents believe King Charles should formally strip Meghan and Harry of their royal titles. 97%. That is not a controversy. That is a consensus. It is the sound of a nation deciding that the contract has been broken and the titles should be returned. And inside the palace, that consensus is felt acutely. Prince William does not speak publicly about his brother and sister-in-law, but those close to him say he views their conduct not as a family dispute, but as a betrayal of the institution he is sworn to protect. William, we are told, is waiting for the moment when his authority as king gives him the power to act decisively, to strip Meghan and Harry's titles and to sever connections with them completely.
It actually opens the door also to when William becomes king, quite reasonably stripping Harry of his title, and perhaps down the track, Charlotte and Louis's children not having titles either, because they're unnecessary.
Well, there was once upon a time when we thought no royal would be able to be stripped of their title, and look what's happened over the last couple of weeks. And you're right, will this impact Harry and Meghan in the future once Prince William becomes king? I guess remain to be seen, but many of us are hoping for that.
Anyway, over the last couple of months, a lot of people have been noticing that Meghan still signs gifts and cards as Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex, a title she no longer holds, a designation she and Harry explicitly agreed to relinquish when they stepped back from royal duties.
The royal rumor mill is buzzing after Meghan Markle sent a gift to a friend using her former title, Her Royal Highness, despite the fact that she and Harry stepped away from their royal roles in 2020. Damn them! This has reportedly enraged heir to the throne, Prince William, who wants to officially strip their behinds of the title once and for all.
You see, a title, even an unused one, carries a lot of weight. It opens doors and it implies connection. It suggests to those who receive a signed gift that they are touching something royal, even if the royals themselves have moved on. Meghan's obsession with retaining the trappings of royalty extends beyond signatures. It shows even in her public appearances, her business ventures, and her very presentation of self. Consider her recent podcast appearance with Jamie Kern-Lima, a self-made billionaire.
Friendship is so important. And I think so many people also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about.
Yes, it really is that awful. The whole hour-long ordeal may have even been longer. I may have blacked out from smacking myself in the head.
Meghan became emotional. She choked up. She was constantly dabbing her eyes.
Out there writing the social media captions herself. So busy. And don't forget, she's a princess too, and Harry is slaying dragons to rescue her.
Look what we built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And, and I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers when you get to the final.
Viewers noticed that even though Meghan was emotional and almost always about to cry, no tears ever came out. And this was not the first time this thing happened.
They really are tragedy ghouls. Tragedy ghouls. Meghan Markle, with a camera trained in front of her, crying. But it wasn't a real cry. This is one tear, left eye, go. And this is what I find so grim.
Turns out has an actor's performance of emotion, complete with the gestures, the pauses, the physical cues, but missing the one element that cannot be faked, authenticity. And then a resurfaced video reminded everyone why they were skeptical. Meghan, years earlier, joked about her ability to cry on command, a skill, she said, that came in handy.
Now make yourself cry. Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my God, it's crazy. You're like, Meghan, 1 tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
Body language expert Scott Rouse analyzed her expressions during the podcast, and his conclusion was a mismatch between words and nonverbal cues, the kind of disconnect that suggests discomfort or deception. Then there is her brand that she has tried to push so hard. First, it was called American Riviera Orchard. Then she quietly rebranded it to As Ever. The problem was that the name American Riviera Orchard already belonged to small businesses, and its logo bore a striking resemblance to the monograms on the gate of Buckingham Palace. Now, to make things worse, her product launches have been met with skepticism. Quick sellouts that some view not as genuine demand, but as manufactured scarcity, a way to create buzz without actually having to sustain a business. And then there is the lawsuit. A woman in Maryland claims she followed a DIY bath salt recipe from Meghan's Netflix show. She is diabetic. The salts, she alleges, caused severe burns and ulcers, injuries serious enough that she is now seeking up to $10 million in damages from Meghan, Netflix, and Archewell. Whether the claim has merit is for courts to decide, but the existence of the lawsuit itself is a problem for a brand built on wellness, authenticity, and trust. A brand, like a title, only has value if people believe in it. There was a moment years ago when Meghan and Harry were seen as something new, a breath of fresh air in an institution that had grown stale. Royal rebels, challenging tradition, willing willing to speak truths others could not. That moment is over. What remains is something far more complicated. A couple whose every public appearance, every interview, every podcast and documentary has shifted the lens through which they are viewed. The rebels became victims. The victims became accusers, and the accusers have now become performers. Joe Rogan's mockery was a cultural moment when the permission to believe finally ran out. He asked the simple question, why the title? Why the performance? Why the victimhood when the lifestyle suggests anything but? And in asking, he gave voice to a shift that has been building for years. The mystique of the monarchy was always its silence, its refusal to explain, to justify, to perform. Harry and Meghan chose the opposite path. They chose transparency. They chose storytelling. They chose to let the world in. But the world, it turns out, is a harsh audience. And once you invite it to watch, you cannot control what it sees. What the world now sees is a couple caught in a paradox. They left the royal family to escape scrutiny, yet they cannot stop seeking the spotlight. They claim to want privacy, yet they share their most intimate moments on camera. They accuse the institution of cruelty, yet they continue to use its titles, its symbolism, its residual power. This is not hypocrisy in the simple sense. It is something more human and more tragic. The inability to let go of a story even after you've left it. So we arrive at the question Rogan's mockery forced into the open. Does anyone still believe the narrative? He public polls suggest the answer is no. 97% want the titles removed. The comment sections are brutal and the late night jokes write themselves. But belief is not measured in polls alone. It is measured in the silence of former defenders, in the distance kept by celebrities who once rushed to support them, in the quiet way the industry has moved on. The scrutiny will not end, not because the press is cruel, but because the couple themselves keep beating the machine. Every interview, every lawsuit, every carefully timed revelation reignites the cycle. They cannot stop performing, and the audience cannot stop watching, but the applause has long since turned to something else. Perhaps the truth is simpler than any conspiracy or cover-up. Perhaps Meghan Markle is exactly who she appears to be, a woman of immense ambition who achieved her goal, and in doing so, lost the ability to be seen as anything other than someone who wanted it too much. Perhaps Harry is a man who loved a woman, followed her out of the only world he knew, and now finds himself stranded between two identities, belonging fully to neither. Perhaps the tragedy is not that they lied, but that they were exactly as ambitious, as calculating, as strategic as their critics always claimed, and that this, finally, is what the public cannot forgive. Joe Rogan asked the question. The public answered. What remains is for Meghan and Harry to decide whether they are still performing for an audience that has already left the theater, and for us, the viewers, to decide what we believe, not about them, but about the stories we choose to invest in, and the moment we finally stop. Till next time, bye.